Hi everyone, so this is part 2 of making a journal, start to finish. Part 1 will be linked in the description box below, and I'll do a little playlist on this, but it will only be 2 videos. It's just easier to find that way. So that's what I've done so far. Thinking I'm going to have to change the cover or just like decorate it more so it's got a little bit more blue in it. We'll see when we get there, but so you've seen me make the cluster, the pockets and the clusters and all the little bits that I've done so far. This is where the blue started to come in. It was like, oh, I like it. And that's all mentioned in the first one. I've got a little bit green here, a little bit blue there. So that is what I've done so far. I'm showing you quickly because now we are going to crack on with tags and stuff. I might actually decorate that a little bit more, but I do obviously go through everything before, you know, before I think, right, it's done, it's finished, and then if I need to add things, I will add things. So stay tuned. So here I'm just making some tags. I literally forgot to put the camera on, and all I'd done was back the little journal cards onto some digital paper. Then I'm backing that onto coffee dyed paper, which then I'll do both of them, and then I cut around and do stitching. So mostly this part of, well, second part of this video, which the third part will just be a flip through of the completed finished journal. But this part is just mainly tags and again just some slight embellishing. I got these on Rach and Bella Crafts as well, so go and check that out. I will link, I'll try and remember because I've still got a bit of editing to do of the first part. I'll try and remember to link everybody below. So yeah, there's some great freebies out there as well. You know, if you follow people, you'll get to find out where their freebies are, if they have freebies. But most digital designers nowadays do have some freebies for everyone as just a little thank you. So these are just like not collage strips, but like wide washy strips, I would say. And I'm going to shush for a little bit, and I'll just pop on if I feel that I need to say anything. Otherwise you can just watch the process of this. So here I decided that I was just double checking that tag it was too wide to use in the size of journal that I'm making. So I thought, right, I'm going to make like a double tag holder thing. I think I've shown this on TikTok and Instagram possibly. So it's just a large tag and a smaller, as in it's not as wide, the one that's going to go inside. So I backed them both, inking them up. I done some stitching. I did have a little bit of an issue with this, where a little bit of the cotton kept catching on the tags when I was trying to put it in, and I was getting frustrated. You might say, I don't know if I've edited that bit out or not, but it was driving me nuts. And so here I'm just putting a tab on. Just that's a piece of digital from Ruby and Pearl. I think I did go back over once that had dried and done a little bit of stitching, because I'd forgot. This is one of the pieces from Rach and Bella Crafts, and I just made sure that it was going to wrap around okay, and then I backed that onto some blue paper, which was not avocado dyed, wouldn't have been blue, would it? Easter egg dyes, that's what I used for them. Done that a few months back. So I tore all that out and I stitch around that. So here was a tag that I'd snapped on and it didn't come out very well, so I thought I'll cover that up. So using up some bits and pieces lying at the side of me, I made a collaged tag. I think that piece was from ARTYmaze, and then I realised I was putting it on upside down. And just put that on, smished it down with an old card of some sort. Then that was from ARTYmaze as well, from one of her wallpaper journal kits, and I just put that on there. And then that next piece that I'm using was from Rach and Bella Crafts, and as you can see I was using a glue stick here. I used various glues throughout when I'm making things, so I go from glue sticks to tacky glue to Fabri-Tac. Just depends on what I'm doing or how well I know certain things will stick with that glue, if you know what I mean. So here I had to trim a little bit off, and there was us with a background tag. This bit here was from a collage strip from Rach and Bella Crafts as well, and I just kind of inked up all around the edges, and I can't even remember what I'd done here. So it's just like watching it all over again, because these videos have actually taken me like 4 days to do. So I know a lot of people say to me at times like, oh, you can knock a journal out really quickly. I don't always. It's because I normally have a lot of things just ready to go, whereas this I didn't. So I was kind of pulling stuff off, you know, as in like from files on the computer, printing it, cutting it, coffee dyeing it. So it wasn't all ready for me like it normally is, although there was little bits there that was, but a majority of it was I had to think about what I was going to use. And I think I mentioned at the beginning that this journal started off like it was going to be like a shabby vintage florally type thing, and now it went very blue. So you will see towards the end that I did change the cover. I didn't take the cover off, but I altered the cover to make it more blue, because blue seemed to be how it went. So that was that tag done. Little butterflies are a freebie from my coffee shop. So here, that was a piece of ruffle that I pulled out, and I inked that up first. So I didn't really need to do a lot of stitching apart from run the tag, and I popped that on there. And the tag was from Rach and Bella Crafts. And then the little cluster, as you see, I just made that up. And I did, at some point, I did go back over and I think I added something to that. I'm not sure if it was now or later on. So I just made another little tab. And like I say, with the ones, the tags where I already stitched around before putting the tabs on, I did go back over once it was all dry and do a bit of stitching. So here I did actually put this label. The labels are from Tracie Fox. So this is the tags that I made so far. I shared this picture on Instagram. Now here we are making tags from printouts. As you can see there, I put the tabs on and I stitched around. Then this was one of the big envelopes again, and I just tore it into strips. The envelope was from Rach and Bella Crafts, and then I was using some digital washi from chapter 1. And I think most of these I stitched. The tickets are from ARTYmaze. And then I put on some Tim Holtz dies. I do show you the packet at one point, the packaging that it come in, just in case anyone wants to know what it is. I know everybody likes a Tim Holtz product. So I'd done all the little clusters first, and then stitched them. So we're on the third one, and the butterflies that you see again are freebies from my coffee shop. So I love making clusters, but I've been heavily influenced recently by Steph from Hilltop. Is it Hilltop View Journals? She's on Instagram, she's on Facebook. Not for you, I don't know if she's on Facebook, but she's on YouTube as well. And she makes lovely journals and lovely clusters and things. So does ARTYmaze. ARTYmaze was probably one of the first persons that got me into making clusters. And it is a great way to use up all your scraps as well. So here you can see that one. I'd done all the stitching. I thought I'd glued that one straight down, but I didn't. So here, gluing them down, adding the die cuts, and then the butterflies. So I found these two pieces, which the one with the birds is from ARTYmaze, and I think the other one is from Tsunami Rose. So I'm just marking with a pencil on this piece because I'm going to trim that down and then back it and stitch it like I've been doing with everything else. So that was me just trying to keep the blue theme going, since that's what started like a third of the way in. So here I'm using two little freebies from my coffee shop, and it's like French label journal cards. So if you're interested in them, check out my coffee shop below. So I'm just putting them onto that paper, which is from ARTYmaze, and I believe that was a freebie from ARTYmaze, and you can find that on ARTYmaze's coffee shop. And I'm just doing the ripping method with the ruler. I like that. It saves getting the trimmer out. So I backed them onto some blue paper. Stitched all around them, and I'm showing you the backs because that one messed up, so I'm not using that in the journal, so that got chucked on one side. So the next, I found these little circle pieces that I hadn't used up from yesterday's or the day before's video. So the images are from Rich and Bella Crafts, and I just die cut the circles. And then I just glued them on. I could, at that point, I know there was another scallop circle somewhere. I couldn't find it, but I did find it. because there was a great big pile of mess that I was creating as I was doing this. I don't know how many times I had to stop and clear up and start again. So I'm just making a little tiny cluster for the circle, because I made these into tags. So here are a few pieces that were kind of like just laying around from the printouts that I'd done. So I backed them all onto coffee dyed paper, and then I just put some tabs and things on them. But this one I did actually decorate up a little bit using some of the elements from Rachel Bella Crafts. So that's one of the labels or tickets, I think. And then that little tag again is from, and I believe the full, you can buy the full kit or much more to the kit on Etsy. And it's called Truly Blue, and it's such a beautiful kit. And here it's a little freebie from my coffee shop, which is little butterflies. I've got quite a few little butterflies on there now. See, I couldn't remember what I'd done here, so I was using a bit of digital washi from chapter 1. And the butterfly. Then trimmed off the excess. And I believe I did go back and put bling on that. So what am I doing now? I think I was just looking through the journal to see. I knew that page needed something more because it just kind of, the tag just seemed to stop, and then I kind of like something to kind of flow over from the tag onto the other thing. I don't know where I put it actually. Was it there? Was it there? I don't know. Can't remember now. So yeah, it kind of just popped onto that. So it kind of broke up the line that the tag had made. Started saying that, and then I thought, actually, did I do that? So I cut off the little pieces of bling, and yes, I did. I put it on the tag that I just made, and then I put it on that little butterfly on the flip page. So now I need to do something with that cover, because it doesn't go with the inside of the journal. Doesn't go with the signature. So here, this is some ARTYmaze paper, and I just trimmed that down to size, and actually trimmed a little bit off the bottoms as well, because I still wanted to see the stitching. You can measure, but I just eyeballed it, and just creasing that so that I got a decent tear without having to get the trimmer out, and just trimmed off a bit there and a bit here. Done some inking and then stuck it on. So now I wanted something to kind of hide that middle part of the journal cover. So I'd find a piece of lace, and I just put on some Fabri-Tac and just put the lace on there. Let that dry for a little bit, and then I went in and punched some holes and put some eyelets in for my closure. Now I took the tags out on the insides of the cover, just so that I didn't kind of get them stuck in with the eyelets, because I've done that before. You don't want your tags stuck in there. So bear that in mind if you've got stuff on your inside pockets. So here I've just got some fabric, it's just some white fabric, and using that to go through my eyelets front and back. So now I'm coming in with some crocheted trim and some pom-pom trim, and I'm just using my Fabri-Tac to add that. So now on to the journal topper. So I pulled this tag out, didn't go with it whatsoever, so I just decided it would already been backed onto coffee dyed paper, and I thought, okay, I'm going to collage the whole thing. It's one of my printables, so if you're interested in that, you can find that on, it's a freebie, you can find that on my coffee shop. So I'm just using these scrappy pieces, which ARTYmaze, and I believe that was a freebie. No, was it? I can't remember. And then this piece here, I don't know where that's from, but cannot remember where that was from. Oh, Ruby and Pearl possibly. I'm just trimming off around the edges. And this image is, no, I don't know if it's from Pixie Dust Art or it's from Polka Dot Art Designs or something like that. I can't remember. But I was in two minds whether to use that or not. But I went with it. So we're nearly finished. I don't know why I sat that down after gluing it. I was getting hungry by then. It was like that time of the day where it's like I need food. So I put that ticket down. That's from ARTYmaze, and then I put that down there. The beautiful images they are. And this is a little ticket from ARTYmaze as well. And I popped that right down there. And then the butterflies, a freebie, again from my coffee shop if you're interested. And I glued that on together. And then I had to get the bling out again. I think I'm nearly done. So the next one will be, the next video will be a proper flip through from what like I normally do when I show a journal, but this is part 2, and like I said, this actually took me 4 days to do, and I mean 4 whole days. This recording business gives you a headache. But I wanted to do this for myself, just to show you that what you can do with a very plain blank journal. You don't need a big, you know, if you buy like the blank journals that people sell and things like that, or you make your own, you can dress it up so much. So thanks for joining me with this, and leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.